chamber to the people. Let the voices ring. Laws are made. Debates take the wing.
I know we are going to be reposed with responsibilities.
Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Watch the Senate and the House of Representatives, where decisions flow. The Parliament, the place to know. The Parliament, see power at play. The Parliament, your window into democracy at work, only on Global Television. Hello and welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament, which deliberates on legislative policies from the chambers of the National Assembly to the voices shaping Nigeria's democratic journey. Welcome once again. I am Anieti Patrick. Each week, we bring you the latest decisions, debates, and developments from the heart of the legislature, the bills shaping national policy, the motions addressing citizens' concerns, and the oversight actions holding governments accountable. On this episode, Nigeria's National Assembly puts the nation's security crisis at the center of its agenda, dedicating an entire plenary to an urgent debate on the rising wave of insecurity. This comes as the Senate proposes the death penalty for convicted kidnappers, while the House of Representatives pushes for sweeping police reforms, a national ban on ransom payments, and the full implementation of recommendations from past security summits. Join us as we take you inside the chambers for a closer look at the deliberations shaping Nigeria's next steps in the fight against insecurity.
Senator Lola Ashiru of Kwara South, who sponsored the motion for urgent federal intervention after recent eruptions, including school children in KB. The Senate also debated reports of soldiers withdrawing from vulnerable areas before attacks. Senator Inaya Abaribe and other senators criticized the government's handling of security, saying the administration must own up to its failures instead of blaming predecessors.
The governor of Kebbi said that somebody ordered troops out and people were kidnapped. Till today, nobody in Nigeria knows what happened, and no question has been asked. The commander of that area who ordered that those men be withdrawn, it is to be a national secret to be kept within military cycle.
As some lawmakers continue to propagate the claim that security agencies know the locations and motives of bandits, Senator Akpabio condemned attempts to frame the crisis along religious or sectional lines.
Families are suffering. Some people are living in their comfort places, making phone calls with these bandits. Can't we identify them? We can identify them. How do we do it? The gadgets were bought for the National Security Advisor. The gadgets were bought for telecommunications. They will be able to tell us where all these people are. In cities and villages. And kidnapping now is one of the best paying jobs in Nigeria. All across. In fact, kidnapping now pays more than oil. We can continue to buy arms and ammunition and platforms from other countries. But that is not the way to go in the long run. Because we bought the Super Tucanos. What happened? So the sensors that we needed.
Let us use this opportunity to give the president or the leadership the necessary support in order to address this very serious problem of insecurity that is expanding.
Senate President Goza Akpabio described kidnappings as organized attacks aimed at destabilizing Nigeria's democracy.
The laws of the Federation now on terrorism, anti-terrorism, all laws relating to terrorism and kidnapping The penalty for kidnapping should be changed immediately to carry the maximum punishment of death.
The new legislation aims to send a strong message against kidnappers amid nationwide security challenges.
A somber mood inside Nigeria's Green Chamber as Speaker Tajuddin Abbas leads lawmakers into a special session devoted solely to the country's rising insecurity. The Speaker urges Nigerians not to bow to the fear terrorists and bandits are trying to spread. Speaker Abbas warns that beyond bullets and bombs, fake news and misinformation now threaten national stability, escalating panic and eroding trust in authorities. He appeals to citizens and lawmakers to rely on verified sources only.
These incidents remind us of the scale of the threat we face and the seriousness of the work before us.
The House leader, Julius Inyubere, reviewing security trends across the 6 geopolitical zones, highlighted alarming figures of thousands killed, over 24,000 violent incidents in the last year, and millions displaced. The one that insecurity, if not contained, threatens the nation's economic survival.
There is now a recognition that just a direct military engagement may not solve this problem. There is an urgent need for what is now popularly called the non-kinetic, because at the end of the day, some communities and individuals are involved.
The House identified key national priorities: clear political will at all levels, modernization of defense systems, stronger intelligence and community policing, technology-driven operations, and urgent fencing and protection of schools under the Safe Schools project.
When I hear people praise government is doing well. Are we sincere? Government is still sleeping.
The Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, in his remarks said Nigeria has strong deterrent laws but weak implementation. He said what Nigeria needs now is structured legislative reform, not just military responses.
That Nigeria possesses strong deterrent laws. We don't have paucity of laws, we have strong laws. But what we suffer is weak institutional implementation.
The plenary was attended by foreign diplomats, civil society groups, and visiting parliamentarians. Honored victims of recent attacks with a minute of silence. Speaker Abbas commended President Bola Tinubu for what he called swift and coordinated response to the recent wave of kidnappings and killings. Meanwhile, lawmakers from both chambers are also making a passionate call for unity across religious and cultural lines, insisting that only a united front can confront the threats destabilizing communities across the country. Day 2 of the Rare Security Plenary opened with a charged mood as lawmakers presented raw accounts from their districts. From kidnappings to terrorism and the collapse of local policing, members agreed the nation is slipping into deeper danger. Leader of the South-South Caucus, Solomon Bob, condemned what he called the government's habit of negotiating with violent criminals, warning that ransom payments only encourage repeat attacks. He insisted that security agencies must pursue terrorists and kidnappers decisively, not treat them as misguided youths.
Since 1999, till today, have demonstrated an embarrassing lack of courage to deal with an issue that has festered. We are appeasing terrorists. We are placating them. They are engaged in negotiation. You can't appease your way out of terrorism. Even here in this house, members come here and speak. They deliberately mischaracterize very serious violent crimes and call them banditry. Yes, two things can be true at the same time. You can have banditry, you cannot have terrorism. Terrorism is the most dangerous of the violent crimes we face in this country today. We have laws dealing with terrorism. We have laws dealing with kidnapping, with various stiff penalties. No one has been taken in. We are appeasing terrorists. We are placating them. They are engaged in negotiation. You can't appease your way out of terrorism.
From the North Central, the caucus leader, Idris Wase, delivered one of the session's most sobering reports. He detailed systemic failures, poor policing, ignored intelligence, infiltration of security recruitment by criminals, and a judicial system where suspects languished 4 years without trial. He warned that without urgent reforms, kidnappers will continue to operate with impunity.
I lost one of the most gallant Nigerian soldiers, my cousin, Colonel Baku, in the course of this. I lost my younger brother, same mother, in Bama. And today I will say, without missing words, that even as we try to solve issues, the vigilantes and those who volunteered, just 2 weeks ago, I lost my nephew. So I know what it means, and I speak with pains. Let not the political aspect of what people are trying to divide, the little gain we are having in terms of democratic dividends, be scuttled by those who do not want democracy to strive. And so they're doing everything to ensure that we do not have peace.
The emotional peak came from Kafilat Ogbara, chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs, who spoke on the trauma of adopted school children and the women left behind. She urged the House to legislate state policing and create safe school frameworks, warning that the psychological harm to victims, especially girls, lasts a lifetime.
The brief relief felt by the families of those that escaped is overshadowed by the agony of those still waiting for a knock on the door, for a phone call, for any sign of hope. We have seen the children. Where are the kidnappers? Nigerians are asking. We have seen the children. Where are the kidnappers? We need to know. This crisis demands our urgent attention because children are used as deliberate targets. Schools that are once safe havens have become tragic targets. Heightened vulnerability for our women and children who face kidnapping, violence, exploitation, displacement, and psychological trauma. Mothers and female educators bear emotional and economic burdens, community disruption, and I must say that this trauma lasts a lifetime sometimes. We have to avoid this.
I don't think there is anything new anybody is going to say in terms of insecurity or how we should combat it in this country. It is all well documented. What we should do is to make sure, as much as possible, employ the executive arm. We don't implement these things. All our resolutions, there's hardly any week we don't have a plethora of resolutions on insecurity. What has happened to those resolutions? We are not expected to implement our resolutions. Our resolutions are our opinion, the opinion of a house.
Mr. Speaker, Northwestern Nigeria security landscape is deeply a complex one and very multidimensional. The challenges are not just criminal, but structural, rooted in environmental stress, weak governance, and economic marginalization. Tackling this threat demands a holistic strategy that combines security operations with social, economic, and environmental interventions.
Many a time before now, hardly a day will pass that we will not stand for a minute silence, either for victims of violences across the country or perhaps some of our fallen heroes, those who have paid the rare supreme price, those who have been awakened all days long for all of us to sleep. The situation on ground, did it start today? No, we must admit. Should we take responsibilities as people in government today? Yes, we must admit. Because there is no matter of saying, I inherited this. Yes, we got it and we have to confront it.
Security we face today is not just Boko Haram, but people within us, our very own constituent, our very own blood. Mr. Speaker, the boogeyman insecurity has visited each and every one of us in this chamber. No one has been spared in the country, Mr. Speaker. Today, Mr. Speaker, what I want to say and contribute is the time for cosmetic approach
is over. The time for political approach to insecurity in Nigeria cannot secure and stop the insecurity we face today.
The armed forces budget is only recurrent. There is nothing in the capital. With a budget of 1.something trillion, especially 1.2 trillion, the recurrent is 900 billion. That means we are not doing the budget. During my time in the 9th Assembly, Mr. Speaker, the police had no operational account from inception. They depend on state governors. It was in 2019, the chairman the police, that's Kumo, and the chairman in the Senate, we sat together. So we met with the Minister of Finance and opening up an operational account for the police. If our police will depend on state governors, how do we have them to operate very well?
As the debates continued, lawmakers agreed that negotiations with violent criminals must end, intelligence must be respected, and policing must be rebuilt from the local level. The House is expected to file a unified security resolution by the end of the session. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has ordered urgent military deployments and humanitarian support to several communities in Niger State, following a surge in bandit attacks, killing, and kidnapping of more than 300 school children. Adopting a motion of urgent public importance, the House directed the Chief of Defense Staff to deploy armed personnel and set up forward operating bases in Luma, Audu, Fari, Aguara, and Mago to flush out the attackers. The National Emergency Management Agency and the Refugee Commission were also instructed to send food, shelter, and relief materials to displaced families.
The Nigerian Army, particularly the one that at Babana FOB, they were trying, they are risking their life, but they don't have machineries, modern techniques. How comes in this kind of era, soldier is operating in an open van vehicle?
The lawmaker also revealed that he survived an attempted assassination earlier this month while visiting his constituency, an attack that claimed several lives and left others wounded. He noted that bandits, many of them foreign, are now using the national park as a base to attack not only Niger State, but parts of Kebbi, Kwara, and even Benin Republic. Briefing journalists, he noted that the House also encouraged the National Agricultural Land Development Authority to convert the Kanji Park area into a productive agricultural zone once it is secured.
The problem of our constituency is the Kanji National Park. Before it was useful for us, there was a fantastic animal that we can see. We are receiving visitors from everywhere in the world. As the visitors, they are there for opening their eyes and what have you. But now, the story is quite different.
For now, residents remain displaced and in fear, while families of the adopted school children wait anxiously for government action. Also, the House of Representatives has commended President Bola Tinubu for declaring a state of emergency on national security. Lawmakers also urge security agencies to identify informants who endanger personnel and hinder operations. It was the third and final day of deliberations on Nigeria's security situation. Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu opened the session with a commendation for the President, highlighting his responsiveness before outlining the details of the emergency declaration.
Listening administration, and to also let you know that the conversations you are having in this sacred chamber is not falling on deaf ears. Steps has been activated, stimulated by the conversations that we are having in this room.
Members shared chilling accounts of terror and despair from their constituencies, describing attacks, adoptions, and displacement. Many expressed frustrations over the withdrawal of police officers previously attached to them, which has limited their ability to visit affected communities.
Prominent people in this country have talked about these terrorists. They have taken pictures with these terrorists. They have acted covertly and overtly. The question is, what message are we passing?
Mr. Speaker, honourable colleagues, we cannot legislate in comfort while our people live in fear. We cannot plan for tomorrow while our children are unable to go to school today, while our farmers abandon their fields and our roads become no-go zones. The true measure of leadership is not in the titles that we bear. Let history remember that when the nation stood on the brink, we rose, not in silence, but with solutions.
Establish a Border Security Control Act to better secure our land borders. 5, create a National Intelligence Fusion Center for real-time sharing of information, and that way employ technology.
Lawmakers rejected negotiations with bandits and called for individual states to prosecute and jail suspects locally. They emphasized that decentralized justice could serve as a deterrent to criminal activities.
Given these realities, it is clear that securing our election requires a coordinated, comprehensive approach. We must strengthen the Interagency's Consultative Committee on Election Security and deepen collaboration among INEC, the police, DSS, civil defense, the military wherever necessary, and other relevant bodies.
I had a lot of my colleagues who were supposed to travel over the weekend to visit their constituency to say they can't make it again because the security has been withdrawn from VIPs. Are we saying that we are not part of the VIPs? I'm sure that a lot of people cannot travel to their various constituencies without having armed men escorting them.
Also need to also implement community security plan to empower local government to develop tailored security strategy that we cannot be in Abuja and be making policy for local people. We need to decentralize this policy in order to help us.
After 3 days of discussions and following the President's decisive action, the House expressed optimism that Nigeria can overcome its current security challenges if the necessary political will is maintained. Attention is expected to shift to the constitutional review next week, with the House indicating it will vote on proposed amendments in the second week of December. And that's the much we can take on this edition of the program. See you next week on the Parliament on Global Television on Channel 365 on DSTV and 276 on Star Times. To stay connected, kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG. Thank you to my production team. Until I come your way next time, I am Anieti Patrick. Bye for now. From the chamber to the people, let the voices ring. Laws are made, debates take the wing.
I know we are going to be reposed with responsibilities.
Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Watch the Senate and the House of Representatives, where decisions flow. The Parliament, the place to know. The Parliament, see power at play. The Parliament, your window into democracy at work, only on Global Television.